So we went to war, we passed the Patriot Act, and immediately started giving $2 billion a year to bioweapons development. The Pentagon didn't want to do it because it was nervous about the legality, because it was a death penalty to violate the Geneva Convention. Oh, you would have been committing a war crime, even if somebody told you it was okay. It wasn't. And so they funneled it through DTRA and DARPA. They funneled all of that money to NIH, to NIAID, which became the primary spear tip of bioweapons development. So Tony Fauci became the bioweapons czar in 2001. His budget went up by $2.2 billion. He was personally given a 68% raise from the military. That's why he was the highest paid individual in the federal government, because he was getting this 68% bonus every year from the military. But it meant that he could not stop. And the thing the military wanted was gain-of-function studies, where they could take wild viruses and turn them into bioweapons. And bioweapons development always includes vaccine development, because unlike chemical weapons, with bioweapons, there's always blowback. It's called the boomerang effect. If you give your enemy bubonic plague, your guys are going to get it first, too. They're going to get it quickly. So the only way you can deploy a bioweapons is if you have already developed a vaccine. So the race is to develop a vaccine simultaneously with bioweapons, and then you can deploy the bioweapons, and your enemy will take a couple of years to develop the vaccine. And you can inoculate all of your team. So in 2014, 3 of Tony Fauci's bugs escaped from federal labs. And their escapes were public. And it caused a huge brouhaha. There were Senate hearings, and people were immensely upset. And 300 scientists wrote a petition to President Obama saying, you have to shut down Tony Fauci. He's going to cause a global pandemic. And Obama declared a moratorium and ordered Fauci to shut down the 18 studies he was then doing. As I show in my book, he didn't do it. He instead took that science and he moved it offshore to the Wuhan lab and to the Ukraine. And when he did that, he was not the only one who did it. Tony Fauci spent about $29 million on gain-of-function science in Wuhan. But the CIA spent over $100 million. And the military spent about that much too, about $64 million. And the CIA funneled the money, most of it through USAID. But the CIA, as we now know, was also running this organization called the EcoHealth Alliance, which Fauci was funneling his money through. It was like a laundromat where they funneled federal money so that their fingerprints would not be visible on the